The president of Colombia, I guess that's the country, although it could be the university, recently suggested that cocaine was no worse than whiskey. Oh, it is the university. No.
It's not.
And that it, wait, and that it could be sold more safely if it were legal. Does he have a point? Cocaine was no worse, not in my experience. Cocaine was the worst.
Speaking of, do you realize what's going to happen if Trump can really, which I believe he's going to do, stop this flow of fentanyl coming in from China through our northern borders? He's literally going to make cocaine great again.
Bill Maher entered the debate confident he would steer the conversation, but he didn't expect his own audience to turn on him. In a jaw-dropping moment, Kid Rock dismantled Maher's arguments with ruthless precision, leaving the quick-witted host visibly rattled. As the exchange intensified, Maher's typically loyal audience broke into loud applause for Kid Rock. It was a rare and telling shift in the room. The energy was electric, the tension undeniable, and the reality clear. Even Maher's usual supporters weren't buying what he was selling. This moment wasn't just a fiery debate. It was a wake-up call for the political conversation at large. The tides are shifting, and Maher is no longer immune to criticism from his own base. In this video, we break down Kid Rock's unfiltered takedown, Maher's stunned reaction, and why this explosive clash is sending shockwaves across the internet. Whether you're Team Kid Rock or still backing Maher, this is one showdown you don't want to miss.
Words of wisdom from Kid Rock.
Well, Kid Rock's telling you, hey,
right.
Slow down. It's probably a big fucking problem.
But it's got to be rough. They used to come for the sex, now they just want your drugs. That's got to be. That would bother me a lot. All right. Now that the Boy Scouts of America is just going by scout. Oh God, yes. This is right up your alley, or somebody. There's Boy Scouts. Yes, I've sure it's been in the works for years. It's such an onion headline. The whole fucking country is such an onion headline. The Boy Scouts of America. It cannot be called Boy Scouts anymore because it's exclusionary. Like there isn't a Girl Scouts. Like this is some sort of crime against nature that we each. People are different.
We were just talking about.
It's now Scouting America.
In the first segment, we were talking about. What are we giving young boys? What kind of structure, what kind of discipline, what kind of education? A lot of those projects are really difficult. I was not in the Boy Scouts, would have probably never made it. But those are difficult. They have to achieve. They have to put forth effort. They have to overcome obstacles. They have to overcome failure. That's part of maturing and becoming a full functioning adult.
Yeah.
And to take that away is insane. To say this is targeted towards young boys because young boys are different than young girls, and so the approach needs to be
They think
different.
It's funny when you fart in a sleeping bag.
Bill Maher operates on instinct. It's almost automatic. Every time he takes a jab at the woke left, he reflexively pivots to bashing Trump, like a comedian tossing in a safe punchline to avoid losing the room. He's a master of walking the tightrope, bold enough to criticize progressives, but careful never to go too far, afraid of alienating his audience or tarnishing his brand. You can see it in real time. He flirts with going full anti-woke, but just before crossing the point of no return, he softens the blow with a wild Trump remark, like clockwork. And sure, I'll admit it, Trump is a bit crazy, but he's the kind of crazy that builds skyscrapers, dominates the media, and rewrites the rules of the game. It's the kind of crazy that turns skeptics into believers and steamrolls obstacles with sheer force of will. Some call it delusion, but history often calls it leadership. Still, this isn't about Trump's personality. The real takeaway is Maher's calculated balancing act. He criticizes the left just enough to appear edgy, but never enough to risk losing his progressive base. He walks right up to the edge of calling out the woke mob, but when the pressure mounts, he retreats, always tossing in a Trump dig to reassure his audience that he's still one of them. It's a strategic dance. And whether you admire him or not, one thing is clear. Bill Maher knows exactly what he's doing.
Kamala Harris run for California governor in 2026 after polls show her leading. I'm going to give that a big no.
She's had her chance several times.
She should run far, far away.
I'm a Viragosa guy. I like Antonio Viragosa, the old mayor of LA.
Oh.
I think he's terrific.
Oh, okay. I didn't know he was in the running. I think Kamala Harris would make a great president of a university. Not that she's a bad person or a bad candidate or she's smart, but it didn't work. And by the way, if she does, there would be precedent for this because Nixon lost the White House in 1960. And then what did he do? He ran for governor of California 2 years later. It would be the same scenario. And when he lost that one, that's when he said, you won't have Nixon to kick around anymore. And then he was president 6 years later, so maybe it'll work. You lost a crazy contest to a crazy person.
It started decades ago, in my opinion. It started decades ago with timeouts and last place, participation trophies. And sorry to put it so harsh, but it seems to me like we lost a good portion of a few generations of men who've just turned into complete fucking...
Kamala Harris's political future remains uncertain, with growing speculation about whether she should run for governor of California in 2026. Such a move could offer her a chance to rebuild her leadership image, but it also underscores the challenges she has faced as vice president. Harris has drawn criticism for her handling of key assignments, including immigration and border security, and her approval ratings have remained consistently low. Her 2020 presidential campaign failed to gain traction, raising ongoing doubts about her national electability. Running for governor in California, a Democratic stronghold, could provide a more controlled platform to showcase executive leadership. However, it wouldn't be without risks. The state is grappling with complex issues like homelessness, crime, and economic instability. Additionally, Harris may face political competition from Governor Gavin Newsom, a rising Democratic figure with national ambitions of his own. Commentator Bill Maher has compared Harris's potential trajectory to that of Richard Nixon, who lost the presidency in 1960, ran unsuccessfully for California governor in 1962, and ultimately won the White House in 1968. While it's an intriguing historical parallel, Harris lacks Nixon's deep political strategy and core base of support. If President Biden wins re-election in 2024, Harris will likely remain the Democratic frontrunner for 2028. But if he loses, her political future could suffer further damage. A gubernatorial run might help her reset her narrative and build a stronger executive track record, but she'll need to prove she can be more than a symbolic figure within the Democratic Party. Whether California is the right stage for Harris's reinvention remains to be seen. Ultimately, her decision will shape whether she continues as a national political force or quietly fades into the background.
Rock, is it true that you're planning to do a gospel album?
I am. Doing early beginnings now, doing a gospel record with my old friend Rick Rubin.
Oh, Rick
wow.
Rubin, wow. Did he produce an album of yours before? Have you worked?
Yeah, he did one record of mine, a record called Born Free.
Oh, yeah, I know it well. Wow, so a gospel album. So how does that fit in with some of the songs you've had in the past? Like, I'm a lowlife. Like you wouldn't sing that song in church.
I might.
Really? What about?
I know the Ten Commandments pretty well, and in those commandments, I've never once seen or even heard a thought of one being "Thou shalt not swear."
No. I'm just saying. I know the song. The song is, by the way, I love that song, and it's very funny. But I'm just picturing some of those lyrics, like, "I got kids I've never seen, and their mama's 17." Are we gonna be?
I take strippers out to breakfast. You're gonna add that to my checklist.
Oh, I know the whole song. It's hysterical.
In a surprising revelation, Kid Rock has announced he's working on a gospel album with legendary producer Rick Rubin, signaling a bold new chapter in his musical journey. Known for his rebellious spirit, provocative lyrics, and hard partying image, this shift into gospel raises eyebrows and questions about how it fits with his past, but Kid Rock insists there's no contradiction. To him, Faith isn't about perfection. It's about growth, redemption, and being real. He acknowledges the controversies and wild chapters of his career, but views them as part of a journey that many can relate to. By embracing gospel while staying true to his raw, unapologetic style, his challenging the idea that spirituality must come in a sanitized package, his take is clear. Belief isn't about meeting expectations. It's about forging a personal connection with something greater, regardless of where you've been. Whether this gospel album will resonate with his core fans remains to be seen, but it's undeniably an unexpected and intriguing move. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more updates, discussions, and exclusive insights. Stay tuned. There's more on the way.